Alright, guys, let's get right into it. Thank you to everyone for your support to us here today. To support us here, you guys go to PayPal at Malahoo@gmail.com. For those of you with tickets, citations, mortgages, foreclosures, for those of you having to see an agent doing business as parole officer, as well as those of you who have warrants, and those of you having child support cases. If you have a child support case, go to your spouse or your former spouse and try to work out an arrangement with them privately first, as well as those of you with auto loans, student loans, or if you have warrants, or you're in the churches doing business as jails. For non-violent offenses, you guys can email us for the GSA bond templates to set off the matters, as well as for the manufacturer's certificate of origin, so you own the automobile from the state, as well as the do not detain affidavit that we have revamped here, and the IRS status correction, along with the fraudulent conveyance of language laws and some of Donald Trump's executive orders, and our book, Time is the Master, Time is the Key, and the Chain to the Sky book for U.S. postal money orders for you to create, basically, and also for the herbology book. So you can email us for that. We do ask for donations for our time. You can email us at themulllings@gmail.com, TheMullings@gmail.com. Now we ask each and every one of you to give these videos a thumbs up, so subscribe, and put a comment in the comment section. Alright, now we start with a prayer here on this channel. Heavenly Father God, we pray. We just want to thank you for a great day. We want to put a hedge of protection around Donald Trump, the Army, the Navy, the military, the Marines, and all that is good globally, helping us to get free from this situation currently. Thank you for the powers that be, the angel, gods, and the ancestors sharing with me this night all this amazing research, right? Now, I like to start with the scripture. I'm going to start with one today. It's Psalms 1, and then I'll read Psalms 121. Okay, you guys? Let's destroy some of the enemies this morning. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law does he meditate day and night. And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth his fruit in due season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. The ungodly are not so, but are like the chaff which the wind driveth away. Therefore the ungodly shall not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous. For the Lord knoweth the way of sinners, the way of the righteous, but the way of the ungodly shall perish. All right. And then I also like to read Psalms 8 for some prosperity. O Lord, how excellent is thy name in all the earth, who has set thy glory above the heavens. Out of the mouth of babes and sucklings hast thou ordained strength because of thine enemies. Thou that thou mightest still the enemy and the avenger. When I consider the heavens, the work of thy fingers, the moon and the stars, which thou hast ordained, what is man that thou art mindful of him, and the son of man that thou visitest him? For thou hast made him a little lower than the angels, and hast crowned him with glory and honor. Thou madest him to have dominion over the works of thy hands. Thou hast put all things under his feet, all sheep and oxen, yea, and the beasts of the field, the fowl of the air, and the fish of the sea, and whatsoever passes through the paths of the seas. O Lord, how excellent is thy name in all the earth. All right. And I will lift up mine eyes, Psalms 121, to the hills from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will neither slumber nor sleep. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade the Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. He shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore. Thank you to each and every one of you for sharing your research, your successes, and all this amazing stuff with us today. Thank you to Kiki Smith, Peter, Ratio Bay, Itree Roots, Copyright Origins, and all of you out there sharing with us. Janet Kofty, thank you. All right, now, here's some interesting things that came to us yesterday. A bunch of stuff. God in heaven, give me the words to speak clearly. Let this be edifying and uplifting to the soul. So, there's a bunch of interesting videos that they sent to me. Apparently, the Seattle defunds the police and hires a pimp as street czar to fight crime. Attention, Office of Interpol, the International Criminal World Court, the Army, the Navy, the military, the Marines, Donald Trump, the United States Federal Trade Commission heads, the Antitrust Department heads, Joseph Otting doing business as head for the Control of Currency, Jay Clayton doing business as heads for the Securities and Exchange, and also Louis DeJoy doing business as Postmaster General, and the Universal Postal Union heads. I come to you in good faith. I stand my ground in one's proper person as a living flesh and blood, sentient being, suri juris suri heirs, heir to the world's vast estate. Now, there's a bunch of stuff you shared with us yesterday. Here's what you need to do. Go and round up this entity that Seattle, Washington has hired, who was apparently was a pimp, you guys, and he had spent some time in the big house serving time for said crime. Now he's supposedly being paid, I think it's $12,000 a week, $100,000 a year, to supposedly bring some kind of clarity to the situation in lieu of the defund the police. And I don't know if it's law and order, but it doesn't seem like it. So go round him up. But while you're rounding him up, round up the agents over there doing business as governors and mayors, because it was just reported to us in, I'm going to put the links to all these videos that you shared with us recently. Now there's a video here that was sent to us that we thought was really interesting because we'd never heard anyone explain it in this way. Do you guys know that it appears that these cities, Seattle, Washington, Portland, where's all the decrepitness happening? I want to say New York City, Detroit, all of those cities. This guy has taken the time to do some research on the funding and their budget in these cities. I think it's Elisa Haven channel. Anyways, he was sitting in for her that particular day. This is Trump and Barr's hit list. If this gets out, hell will break loose. Operation Legend's shocking twist. All right, so Operation Legend is on the ground, right? We know that you guys know this already. Those in authorities. These cities have a budget of, say, a billion. However, their actual expenses are like $3 billion. So what do you think the real reason for the riots are? Let's put our head in the game, you guys. Let's think for a second. You remember I was saying to you that this is about some kind of profiting money scheme? It appears that they have a way of, or they're getting funding from some other sources in lieu of the said riots. Number one, the rioters are getting paid, whether it's Soros or what have you. They're getting paid, I think it's $200 up to $10,000 if they do some kind of decrepitness and they videotape it. In addition to that, however, the agents who are doing business as heads for these cities, they have access, or they've been also getting funding from these other entities for the very same riots to assist with their budget people. They don't have the funds to pay for whatever it is that they're supposed to pay for over there. The $3 billion, they don't have it. They have $1 billion or they have $1.5 billion. And when you listen to this guy, he breaks down each city and how much each one has. So international authorities, what you need to do now, immediately you must go and round up each and every one of those agents doing business as mayors, heads, attorney generals, what have you, governors for those particular states and cities. You're going to charge them under the Insurrection Act for treason, right? For what? Providing aid and comfort to the enemy, which is the Chinese Communist Party, rioters doing business as Democratic Party, Jesuits, right? under the disguise of the fact that they don't have the funding to supposedly pay for whatever it is they have going on over there. So they're in essence killing off the people then. So then the next question is, you guys, who is collecting on the insurance for these people and these businesses that they're destroying? Who actually owns those buildings is the question. International authorities go and find out now who is the owner of those, who's the underwriter for all those insurances and those businesses, because it seems to be an insurance Ponzi scheme. All right? Then you're going to collect on those insurance and profits that they've generated from all of this, and you're going to return that to the people globally who has been subjected to this war crimes against humanity, peonage, racketeering, identity theft, land theft, you name it, right? Which goes against the antitrust laws, you guys. It's unfair business practices for the people who supposedly are doing those businesses in those areas, who have to pay rent to whoever the owner is, and is then being subjected to all these agents who are over there destroying their livelihood, right? So you're going to go and do that now. Now, there's an agent here that's been reported to us named Marlene Malahoo Forte. Marlene Patricia Malahoo Forte, QC, is a Jamaican politician. She has been the Attorney General of Jamaica since March 7, 2016. She served as a senator for the Jamaica Labour Party 2009 to 2016 and served as State Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade from 2009 to 2012. Now, it's been reported to us that there was a state of emergency. There's been a state of emergency here in this territory, you guys, for apparently a very, very, very long time. And what this particular entity has been responsible for, it seems, is arresting the poor people and putting them in jails for up to 20 years or more, I guess, without any of their loved ones being able to see them. They haven't been able to get any redress. In essence, she was running a slave ship. So what she had done, it seems, these prison bonds that they were selling to China, international authorities, I command and order you now to go and round her up this night for treason. Use the Insurrection Act, right, for what? Providing aid and comfort to the Chinese Communist Party. Find out if she's been trading those prison bonds on the people here in this territory. And dear God in heaven, find out if those other states doing business under the Antifa and Black Lives Matter, if they're doing the very same thing. Are they trading the prison bonds on the people that are there in those territories? Is that what's really going on? Are they profiting from all of this state of emergency? Have they been receiving federal funding during this entire scamdemic, this new corruption known as a so-called novel hoax? That's the question. Does she have a license to practice law? Does she have a license to practice medicine? Does she have a right to shut down this particular state, right? Go and round up her and all the entities doing business as attorneys, mayors, governors, what have you, for the said treason and war crimes against humanity in the state, right? Now, in addition to that, there was another story sent to us. I want to touch on this one in a minute, but there was something else here about these other entities too, right? Let me just see if I can recall some of the stuff that's going on. As it was shared with us that Biden and Hunter received $3 million. I think Hunter was receiving, was it $50,000 a month or something from Ukraine, and then the wife of one of the Ukraine heads gave $3.5 million to Biden. Go and round up their asses, but I know you've reported that they've been executed. I don't even want to see their clones. All right, now it's another story that came out was that this other agent doing business as Bloomberg, he has been paying off ex-felons, rapists and what have you, to go and vote for him or vote in the so-called demon, Jesuit party. So you're going to round him up for treason, right? Giving aid and comfort to the enemy, because it's a felon, you cannot buy votes, right? in addition to that, Dell, there's another story that came out. Let me just see if I want to touch on all of these first before I go over to the main one that came out yesterday. In lieu of the fact that, yeah, Kaylee is just nailing it. Thank you, Kaylee, for that. Putting Don Lemon in his place. Alright, so I think I've covered those ones there. Now there's this one here that I really want to talk about. Thousands of companies sue to block Donald Trump's tariffs, taxes, right? I think it's 3,400 cases he's mentioned here were filed recently, I guess yesterday. All of a sudden there's 3,400 cases filed by these companies known as Home Depot, Target. There's a whole bunch of companies listed. So here's what is going on now. Yesterday I took the time to stop and do some thinking about what was this situation really about. And in doing so, by the powers that be, I was able to bring to memory, or they brought to memory, the fact that we had served a lot of these corporation heads many moons prior for the very same taxation fraud. As you guys know, on this channel we talk about true law, right? And in talking about true law, I was explaining to you that 99.9% of these cases are in fact a tax matter. So here's the questions to ask. Donald Trump, at the end of this, you can write to us here for the liens that we have served to Jeff Bezos and all of them. Because why? Notice to agent is notice to principal. Notice to principal is notice to agent and to all heirs and assigns. Not only did we serve them as American Indian, Moorish American nationals, but our Moors, brothers and sisters, elders had served them globally as well too. Right? Now, here's what you're going to do. You can write to us for the GSA bonds to set off each and every one of those matters. And then you're going to use the 1099 OID that you shared with us, the powers that be shared with us, to get back the finances that they claimed was owed, right? Here are the questions that was asked, and you might want to ask these agents for this said tax fraud matter case. Did these agents donate any funds to these said politicians? Number one. If so, to whom specifically? Go and research and investigate that. Because it was reported to us that a lot of these corporation head companies, not only did they donate to Trudeau family, which is one of the reasons, in addition to the human trafficking and stuff, why he was rounded up and taken out, right? So did these agents donate said funds to these said politicians, and if so, to whom specifically? Were they promised a kickback, skull and bones contract? And I just want to stop for a minute, and a huge thank you to you, the international authorities. Oh my God. Do you guys know yesterday we made the video recently about another one of the heads here that Malahoo was using. They were doing this back and forth in the TV media, pretending to be passing laws in television, right? On their little theater in the 6 o'clock news. And so this attorney that was representing about 6 people in the state of emergency fraud, because there is no such thing as a state of emergency, right? He did a video about that a couple times ago, just a couple videos ago. You guys go back to, I want to say Peggy Hall. Just Google Peggy Hall. Yeah, it should come up. It's a 1 minute, 4-second video where she explains about the state of emergency fraud. Now, what happened was Malahoo and this appeals entity, the discussion was, or this lawyer who was representing these 6 people, she was saying that, oh, they can't appeal it because of this, that, and the other. Long story short, yesterday that so-called appeals agent here and his security guard, guess what he has today? I'll wait. So, long story short, it looks like he's been arrested for the very same treason, war crimes against humanity, under the auspices of what, you guys? When you hear they have the novel patent, all right, claiming that they're sick, it means that they're under arrest and they're being investigated for it. All right, So a lot of them here has been rounded up, going round her up, and the rest of them, the mayors and the rest of them, all of them are culpable. Yesterday, you know what we saw here? I've been making these videos about the roads here, right? And the bus park and the things that have to be remedied here. And round up those heads that's involved in the theft of the funds to fix up the roads. As it was reported to us yesterday in the grill, on the west end, you've got the side where all the Sandals and all those big hotels are, right? On the other side, you've got the west end. There's a man there that, like us, was fixing up the roads consistently and stuff, but now there's like a sinkhole and it's getting worse. So he is either suing or calling on these heads who are supposed to be actually fixing the roads instead to do their jobs, right? In addition to that, it was reported to us yesterday, go and investigate this guy by the name of Bushy Stewart. Bushy Stewart is a man here who apparently owns a lot of the hotels here. However, his son also owns, I want to say, the Rainforest company that sells the fish and what have you, right? So yesterday we were traveling on the roadway and saw a whole slew of people lined up in front of this Rainforest fish store. Called over one of the people to find out what's going on. And so she showed us these vouchers that she had received from the Salvation Army. Go and round up the Salvation Army heads and do an investigation over there for us, please. So she said that when we looked at the voucher, it was for a $10,000 voucher for meat and fish from this particular Rainforest store. So at first, all of us sitting there were saying, oh, that's really great. They're giving away free food to the people. Wonderful. And she said it was for 100 people in each parish. Bluefield's got 100 people. Sav got 100 people, and they're giving out these vouchers. As soon as we thought it was a great idea, the angels visited us and said, well, the question is, where did they get this fish and this meat from? Is that fish and meat from China? Is that old fish and meat from these hotels that they couldn't use because there's no tourists here? Go and find out if that fish and meat is any good, or if they've tainted it with any of the so-called novel patent crap in it. Go and find out what's going on, because he apparently owns the bus park, and it's, as you can see, it's in a decrepit state because we've put that in the video currently. Recently, so we have the pictures in the video. You can see what's going on over there. So here's this man with these multi-million-dollar hotels that look like, 5-star hotels, and here he is over in this Savlamar city, this town, where this bus park that he supposedly owns the land for looks like crap. So while we're saying to him, if he owns that, he can fix it up as well too and do that. While the same way he fixes up those hotels, he can do that. In addition to the fact, round up the agents that you gave the funding to, because yesterday, while we're traveling on the roadway in Sable, you could see us. The only places that's fixed up here really great are the plazas for the big supermarket. All the banks are fixed up really great, and some of the plazas for where they sell the pharmaceuticals, right? Aside from that, a lot of the other places look decrepit, and the new parish council that they built yesterday. Now, aside from that, go and find out now. We saw this construction truck on the roadway yesterday with 4 young lads, a shovel, and it looked like maybe a yard of mall. And they were going out and putting in this, dumping up the potholes, these massive potholes with this mall. And I was saying, really? Like that was it, just putting the mall in there, nothing else, whatever. I don't know if they're going to go over it with some tar, but they have to do the roadway better, because a lot of times when you do it that way, it just opens back up quickly, eh? So you've got to put other stuff in it to keep it, you got to do the road properly is what I'm saying. So go and round up the agents involved in that treason yesterday. Now here's the next question you need to ask. Okay, so did they give any donations to these politicians, and if so, specifically to whom? Were they then promised a kickback Skull and Bones contract? Do they have a 501c3 Skull and Bones contract? Are these agents doing business as Home Depot, Target owners? Are they in fact European colonists occupying our lands? And if so, do they have to have an anti-bribery statement? Do they have to have a foreign registration statement? Did these foreign agents take an oath to uphold the Constitution and the 1787 Treaty of Peace and Friendship? And are they now honoring the foreign? Are they now instead honoring the Foreign Sovereign Immunities Act? Did these agents take a second oath under the Barr, which is under the United Nations? Are these as doing laws of the sea on dry land, which is Admiral Maritime Law? Did these agents, as you know, we heirs do common law, common sense, did these agents give aid and comfort to the enemy, the Chinese Communist Party, as per the 14th Amendment? And are they all now subject to the Insurrection Act? Do these agents have ties to China? And are these corporations in fact Chinese? In other words, we see Home Depot when you think it's an American company, but is it in fact being run by the Chinese? Is it owned by the Chinese? Are the owners owned by the Chinese? Here's the next question, you guys. And did they pay taxes to the original indigenous people, the American Indians, Moorish American nationals, as per the 1787 Treaty of Treason Friendship and the Iroquois Confederation? The agreement was they had to honor the Constitution and pay us taxes. Pay us the taxes for the use of the land to occupy our lands here in order to do trade and commerce. Did we get paid? I'll wait. And as such, are these 3,400 companies lawsuits in fact one lawsuit? And is this a tax matter in the sense that did these entities take out any checks using our names? And if so, did they pay the taxes on said matters? If not, I do not wish to be a party to any tax fraud case. Therefore, all Internal Revenue Service agents at 1111, it's 4 ones, Constitution Avenue, Washington, D.C., in square brackets 20224. I order, command, and demand you go now and fill out the Form 56 on each and every one of those entities, making them fiduciary trustees in this instant matter. Then have them fill out the 1099A, 1099B, 1099C, the 8281, the 706, the 3909, and all the other tax forms that you sent to us, W8BEN, and the 1040. Right? Then collect on all the taxes they owe from creation, from inception. All right? All of it. Take out your share for your hard work and then return the rest to us here as heirs, and to all the heirs globally. Okay? Also charge them for defamation of character on us here as nationals and on Donald Trump. Have, as we've been subject to all kinds of atrocities, as you know, Donald Trump has been sued left, right, and center for trying to stand up for us, right? By these so-called agents doing business as Jesuits, who have taken out a secret oath. Have you guys read the Jesuit secret oath? That's something you might want to take a look at. I will not read it. It's too decrepit, right? As Democratic Party agents trying to overthrow the Republic, doing business as KKK members on following the KKK Act. The real question begs, do these agents, are they involved in the same organ harvesting? Did they kill my husband? Are they slave traders? Are they doing sex trade, slave trade, human trafficking with the same pedophilia? As it's treason, genocide, war crimes against humanity, peonage, racketeering, identity theft, inheritance theft. Is that what is really going on? Are they doing organ harvesting for the said Chinese Communist Party or for themselves? Have them answer back under penalty of perjury to Donald Trump immediately. They've got 1 hour. And to one here with their full liability bond, liability insurance bond, signed by a lawful judge and or a lawful clerk with date, stamp, and seal. I'll wait. Do these entities have a 501c3 kickback contract? Are they European colonists occupying our lands? And are they in their proper person? Do they have a nationality identification card? Can we see it? Have them send it to us immediately. Do they have an address and a social security number? Have them send that to us immediately. And are they in fact trading on the birth certificate bonds? Okay, those death certificates, are they trading those bonds? Are they in fact also trading on the prison bonds? Is that what this is really about? And if so, go and round up all those profits generated from those schemes. Are they collecting insurances off of the people's businesses? For instance, Home Depot was allowed to stay open this entire scamdemic, right? While the little guy who had his mom and pop hardware store down the road, he had to close. So the question begs is Home Depot collecting on the insurances for these smaller companies that have been demolished around the big Home Depot, Target, and what have you? That's the question. Do they have shares? Did they do put options on the current scamdemic medical tyranny? Are they doing trades on the stock market as these prison bonds through China, with or through China, as per the current state of emergency fraud, which is unlawful search and seizure, right? Did they hijack one's freedom of speech as per the Second Amendment under the CCP propaganda party doing business as big tech corporation? Is this matter unfair business practices, which goes against the United States Federal Trade Commission, against the antitrust laws, and is this in fact a monopoly? Is this a massive insurance pyramid scheme? Have them answer back within 1 hour under penalty of perjury with their full insurance liability bonds signed by a lawful clerk and or a lawful judge with date, stamp, and seal. Now, Donald Trump get someone to write to us that the angels will be able to decipher stuff. People don't write to us. if you need your stuff, write to us properly, right? But so we can send to you the GSA bonds and stuff to set off the matters instantly too. Yes, as long as it's for nonviolent offenses, you guys can write to us. But I'm saying that there's trolls out there, right? Don't write to us, trolls, because we'll pick it up and send you off to the FBI and the Interpol, right? Once you set off the matters, then write to us again for the 1099 OID on each case, right? To get back the so-called taxes they claimed was owed. And thank you in advance for your speedy response to this matter. By very truly yours, by Noble Honorable Ange L. Enadi Alphabet L, Reubenite Tribe Chief, American Indian, allodial title Moorish, American National, UCC 1-308, without recourse, all rights reserved. I stand by the Book of Ruth by my deceased husband Jackson. So I'm going to speak this into existence on my indigenous tongue. You guys remember to give these videos a like, share, subscribe. Remember to go show Donald Trump some love at this time while these people are pussyfooting around the issue. Donald Trump picked the new Supreme Court justice now. Do it now. Do it now. As delay is danger. Do it now. And yeah, so I want to thank you for sharing with me. It was a Hispanic lady, Legault, I think her name was, that they had shared with me that will be the new Chief Justice. They did put Amy beside it, but I'm not feeling her, so I don't know. We'll see. So thank you to everyone for your support to us here. We ask everyone for $1 for each of these videos. Go to PayPal at themullings@gmail.com. Feel free to donate to us anytime, any amount. We greatly appreciate it. For those of you who have nonviolent offenses who need the GSA bonds, you can email us for the GSA bonds to set off the matter, and the 1099 OID to get back the finances that they claimed you owed or they owed. And also for mortgages, foreclosures, tickets, citations, utilities, auto loans, student loans, and for those of you with warrants, and for those of you having to see an agent doing business, parole officer, as well as those of you in for nonviolent offenses, you can email us for these templates that the good Lord has shared with us. Thank you to the gods. At themullings@gmail.com. Remember to give these videos a thumbs up. Remember to put a comment in the comment section, and remember to subscribe. It's 7 days that YouTube had interfered with us for. They had put a strike on the older channel. So you guys subscribe to the new channel, and then when the good Lord provides an opportunity for us to get back on the old channel, we will. We've already sent a lot of you guys information on the older channel. So we're on Noble L the second. This is a new channel. And yeah, you can go to Noble L and the first to listen to all the 1,500 videos we've created there for you to use, the affidavits and what have you, as we've just created here as well for you too. All right, you guys, like, share, subscribe. Have yourself a great day. Let me just speak this into existence now. Toko din takanatiki, nono no kokoko ina ha takanataka, nina na kai nono no koto kina takanatiki, nina na kakakai no koko ina kakai. Nono no koto koi la takanatiki, nono no koto kruta la takanatiki na haitaka. I put a hedge of protection. I call on the angels and the gods to put a hedge of protection around all the good people. Donald Trump, the Army, the Navy, the military, the Marines, and all that is good globally that is helping to clear up all this corruption on the planet. All right, thank you for that. Have a great day, you guys.